Happy Back to the Future Day, and hello fellow book nerds. I'm Lauren from Hops Geek News and Nerd Initiative, and I have a new book to recommend. Future Boy by Michael J. Fox and Nell Fortenberry was absolutely fantastic. If you are a Back to the Future fan and you love hearing background stories about how the movies are made, this is an absolute must read. I actually did it on audiobook. It was my first ever audiobook. I'm not an auditory person, but I was engaged the whole time. And anytime Michael, who's narrating it, mentioned another person, you actually got to hear that sound clip. And there was even clips from the movies when he was explaining what happened behind the scenes during some scenes. If you are a fan, you have probably heard about how he was doing Back to the Future and Family Ties at the same time, and it was a lot. He was barely sleeping. So he goes into a lot of that. He talks about all the great things that went on behind the scenes, all the things that weren't so great, all the things that they had to overcome, but at no point was it negative. It was such a positive story. He had nothing but nice things to say about everybody on the cast and crew, and it was so neat hearing all the different stories as well as all the things that happened back then in 1985 that would never happen today. And of course, it's always fun to listen and learn all these things that if this one little thing hadn't gone exactly right, we would have not ended up with this amazing trilogy that is Back to the Future. One of the interesting things he talks about at the beginning of the book and the end is Eric Stoltz. So he was originally cast as Marty McFly. However, he brought a very serious tone to the character because if you think about it, if you take away all the, laughter and the jokes and the lightheartedness, it could be kind of a trauma. All of a sudden he's stuck in 1955 and making it so him and his siblings don't exist. And that could be really, they could have made that really scary and dangerous. But when they brought Michael J. Fox in, he brought a lightness to it and a humor to it, and that's the Marty McFly that they were looking for. So he talks a little bit about how that transition was and coming into the movie later on, and he talks about how he reached out to Eric Stoltz later and that they actually have a very positive and good relationship together now. So I found that very entertaining, and this book, from the first moment you heard Michael J. Fox to the last second, it was a fantastic book. Fantastic read. Highly recommend this one. And with it being the 40th anniversary of the first movie, what a better time to read it than now. Make sure you're liking and following for more book recommendations, comic recommendations, TV, and movies. Cheers.